Alright. Hello and welcome. My name is Bjorn. Let's see if that works. Hopefully I don't need to edit that out. Been a while. Thank you for all those who've subscribed, and I hope you're staying safe in this time and socially distancing and all that jazz. Been a while because I don't know what to put out. And also I'm just in the spare time I'm writing for my campaign, so I don't really feel like people want to see that. This channel's kind of a specific for builds and the classes and more of a mechanical side. So we're going to look at some of the Unearthed Arcanas. I'm not sure when these came out. I haven't been paying attention. And there's a lot. There's a substantial amount to go through here. And that's content. So let's do it. The first one that we're going to be looking at today is the Barbarian Path of the Beast. It seems pretty good. It's like outright. It seems like something that'd be worthwhile to bring up to even level 20, which I say infrequently about barbarians because I don't like their level 20 ability. And yeah, let's go ahead and delve into it, and then afterwards we'll look at some multi-classing. So Path of the Barbarian, barbarians who walk Path of Beast draw on their rage from bestial spark burning within their souls. That beast howls to be released and burst forth in the throes of rage. Those who tread this path might be inhabited by the primal spirit or descendant from shapeshifters. You can choose the origination of your feral or choose randomly. So I do like this table. The one that kind of confused me a little bit is that if you're a born lycanthrope, normally, I mean, you know, every campaign's different. Normally, you're cursed of completely like completely without being a werewolf or whatever. And you only get partial? I mean, maybe. Sure. But besides that, you know, everything here seems pretty cool. I really like it. So anyways, so Form of the Beast. When you enter your rage, you can transform, revealing your bestial powers within. Until your rage ends, you manifest natural weapons, choosing one of the followings of your choice. The three choices are Bite, Claws, and Tail. Your mouth transforms into a bestial snout or greater mandibles of your choice. Your bite deals 1d8 piercing damage. It's 1d8 plus your strength modifier. I'm assuming that. It only makes sense. Once on each of your turns, when you damage a creature with your bite, you gain a number of hit points equal to your constitution modifier. So this is very, very impressive, especially for third level. At later levels, obviously, just, you know, your con modifier 5 HP a turn, it's nothing. But at lower levels, this is some insane sustainability. Maybe at later levels, your dungeon master or as being a dungeon master, you can reward the player with an item that instead makes it so that they restore that health every turn. For every bite that they make. So for 2 bites, they can restore that health. At later levels, I think that's fine because, you know, paladins at level 20, most of their ascended forms, or whatever they're called, they gain this ability to regain health. Like it's a flat 10 HP at the start of at the top of their turn or at the end of their turn, I can't remember, and they just regain that. I think that'd equal out pretty nicely for a later level thing. It would make it so that it keeps up with all that HP that you're gonna have at later levels. But yeah, I see people mostly using the bite. However, there is this claws ones here. Your hands transform into claws, which do 1d6 on a hit. When you take an attack action on your turn, you make an attack with your claws. You can use a bonus action to make the same attack with the claws. So essentially with this, you'll have 3 attacks. However, you know, 3d6 is still only 18 possible damage versus your bite, which is, you know, 16. So I mean, it's not that much of a difference. Plus you heal, so I can see the bite still overpowering it, just because of that heal at first. So people probably won't see much use of the claws. But yeah, the bite I think is going to be the biggest one so far. The tail, of course, you grow a spiny tail, which deals 1d12 piercing damage on a hit and has the reach property. This is also pretty useful in selective cases. You know, reach is pretty nice. You might be able to use that tail because maybe you can use it in more of a manipulate things a bit more than with, say, like a tiefling's tail. So that is a possibility there. And I am going to be drinking tea because I lose my voice whenever I do these for some reason. So yeah, all these are pretty cool. Again, I do think that it feels balanced. It really does. because it's replacing your weapon attacks. It's not just, a whatever thing. Again, I do want to see that it specifies 1d8 plus your strength modifier. Also it makes it say, like, not just like with the self-sufficiency, but you don't technically need a weapon with this barbarian. You could just use your bite and claws and tail all the time. you always have a weapon on yourself besides your fists, and I think that's awesome because sometimes without a weapon you're kind of trash as a barbarian, but you can sustain a lot. So it's nice. There's a lot of sustain, a lot of self-reliability in this. Now, the 6th level ability is Bestial Soul. The feral spirit within you grows in power, causing natural weapons to form. Essentially, this makes your natural weapons do magic damage. Not magic damage necessarily, it's just so that it can overcome that downside of using natural weapons. You also call on your feral spirit to help you to adapt to your surroundings. When you finish a short or a long rest, choose one of the following benefits which lasts until you finish a short or a long rest. So this is pretty awesome. I really like this. This is more adapting to your environment and being self-reliant. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, and you can breathe underwater. That's impressive. It's very impressive, especially if you're going to be in a water-based area for a long period of time. You gain climbing speed equal to your walking speed. You can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down, on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check. That's pretty cool. When you jump, you can make a strength athletics check and extend your jump by a number of feet equal to your total check. You can only do this once per turn, and as a reminder, down here, jumping does cost your movement, so if you jump 20 feet and you have 30 feet of movement, you technically would only have 10 feet of movement, but you probably needed to use a 10 feet of movement to jump that. So that's a nice little reminder that we can't, take 10 feet of our movement, jump 20 to 30 feet, take another 10 feet of our movement, jump another 10 to 20 to 30 feet. That would be kind of absurd. It'd be hilarious and pretty cool, but a little bit broken games mechanic wise. So yeah, I like this. I think the top two here, I see them being as the most powerful and the ones most being used, because obviously we're going to know if we're going to be needing to swim or climb more often. Jumping is very useful, of course. However, I think that with us, we're going to know if we need to breathe underwater, and most of the time there's more things to climb than there are things to jump over, I find, at least within my own campaigns and ones I've been part of. So that is pretty cool, but still, this is an awesome amount of versatility. This, of course, this subclass does feature some issues with, not doing much outside of combat. But, like, you can obviously climb and swim and do all that jazz outside of combat, but nothing talking, speaking, conveying information to other people. But I guess it is a barbarian, so that's fair. But hey, so yeah, pretty cool. I like it. So Infectious Fury at 10th level, when you hit a creature with your natural weapon, while you're raging, the spirit within you causes the target to target with rabid fury. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, DC 8 plus con plus proficiency. This is what we need. This is why I was curious about why it doesn't say that up there. Or suffer one of the following effects of your choice. So this is pretty cool. I like both of these effects. So the target must use its reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice. That's awesome. That is insanely powerful. Forcing something to use its reaction is very, very powerful. Not for you necessarily. Like, yes, you can get out of dodge. You forced their opportunity of attack out. That's great. However, the thing I see this being used for more properly is that casters aren't going to be able to use their counterspell now. So, like, if you go, obviously, with Mage Slayer, which I don't see why you wouldn't with this, go Mage Slayer, force out their reaction, even though it's not going to, they're probably, the wizard's not going to, like, punch somebody that hard. They can't counterspell, which means your casters in the back don't have to worry about counterspell. They can get off all their shit. And then this also comes to the point of, also how we have the claws ability over here. Like, with our claws we can attack 3 times. So we can, if we really needed to, we can expend a lot of uses of this Infectious Fury, which I should say is that it's limited to your Constitution modifier, so up to maybe 5. If you get up to 20th level, it's going to be 7 if you get maxed out con. But yeah, so that's really cool. That's really good. That opens up a lot. You can do a lot with taking away reactions, and I really like that. The other one is that you can just do 2d12 psychic damage. I like that you can do 2d12 psychic damage. I'm curious how people are going to rule it, because if you hit with a crit on that turn and the Infectious Fury goes off, does that 2d12 psychic damage count as that crit? I'd rule yes, because fuck it. That'd be really cool, and also give kind of a the smite ability to barbarians in a small way. I mean, it wouldn't be small, it'd be 4d12 psychic damage, which is insane. But yeah, I like that. It's pretty friggin' great. I'm kind of iffy about how it's limited. I understand why it's limited. It makes sense. It feels more balanced that way. If it wasn't limited, it'd be absurd. And also, again, I mentioned that the 20th level Barbarian ability increases your strength by 4 and Constitution by 4, so you'd get more uses then. However, I'm not a fan of the level 20 Barbarian ability. There's sometimes better options in multi-class. The easiest one is a multi-class into Fighter 3 and just go Champion. You get a better crit range. And then you have that. So, I mean, we'll talk about the multi-class later. So this is a pretty cool ability. There's ways to get your Constitution modifier up. There's the tomes, the books, the scrolls, whatever they're called, that permanently increase. There's your class features. There's maybe other items out there. So yeah, this is fantastic, and gives some very good versatility within combat and fucking over mages. All right, so Call of the Hunt. This is a very, very powerful ability. The beast within grows so powerful that you can spread its ferocity to your allies. When you enter your rage, you can choose a number of willing creatures you can see within 30 feet of you equal to your Constitution modifier, minimum of 1 creature. Until your rage ends, the chosen creatures gain the Reckless Attack feature, and have advantage. And you have advantage, on saving throws against being frightened. You also gain 5 temporary hit points for each creature that accepts this benefit. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier, a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So this is insane. If you have an all melee group, holy shit. Or mostly melee group, giving this to a rogue, or giving this to anybody, really. This is crazy. The one thing I'm curious about with this is that, how does it work? This is, again, another ruling thing, I think, that is going to come down to, is that, do they always have this, the Reckless up? Are they just forced to have it for that entire rage duration? Or do they get to choose when to recklessly attack? Because if they don't get to choose when to recklessly attack, which I don't kind of like, they would have advantage against them on all attacks as well. So this obviously comes with that. But I think if the players have the choice to go ahead and use reckless attack for this round of combat, I'm going to give in to that Call of the Hunt. I think that'd be a lot better, and it would allow it so that this isn't such a horrible detriment onto the other players. Yeah, and also, you can do this up to 5 times a day. Or short rest, I think, is it? Not long rest, 5 times a day. About 5 times or 7 times, depends. So, yeah, need a cough. Sorry about that. So yeah, that is awesome. I love the ability. Yeah, and then the temporary hit points was also a nice little benefit. So, 5 times 5, 25 hit points, or possibly you can get up to 7 people, so 35. It's not bad. It's really not bad. It's a really cool feature. It adds, it's absurd, because not only that, rage only lasts a minute. In 1 level from now, you're going to gain persistent rage. Your rage will last forever. You're giving a class feature to 5 to 7 people forever, the rest of the day. That is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. It's not broken too, because I don't feel like it's broken, because again, there's the penalty of they gain advantage against them. This is fantastic. I love this. So yeah, that's those are the class features of the form of the beast. I think overall it's pretty balanced. Let's go over here. So I just made a Goliath Barbarian. Why not? Again, it's a plus 13, so that means it's our proficiency and our strength modifier. As for this though, I was very conflicted, because there's obviously we gain more uses of our bestial form abilities, and with this ability down here called our Primal Champion, because our con goes up and our strength goes up. Normally I don't like this in a Barbarian. I don't think it's worth it. So normally what I'll do is, you go to 17 to get that brutal critical, and then you can go ahead, multi-class into friggin' fighter over here. If you're feeling adventurous, you can go into something other than the champion, but there's not much of a reason not to, because right now we gain second win, action surge, and we gain the champion feature, where we have a better crit range. So for multi-classing with this, it's kind of a hard choice for me. I think that this would be a worthwhile Barbarian to get up to level 20. Just get those extra uses if you want. Or the other thing is, if you do go with this option, maybe you can, what can we go with? We can go with protection, I suppose. Get a shield going, but it's kind of a hard choice. It's either you gain better critical range, an action surge, and, all these other crazy little things that from a little fighter dip, or we gain a huge amount of health and extra strength. I don't know. I feel like the fighter is more worth it, in my opinion, but I do really like these features over here so much that I think it might be worth it to get up to level 20. So that's obviously the easiest multi-class. It's pretty much every Barbarian ever. But yeah, thank you for watching. I don't really have much else to say about this. If you have anything to say that I think I may have missed, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about this. If there's something that I kind of overlooked, if you feel like this is overpowered or underpowered or something, I feel like this is pretty balanced overall. The Call of the Hunt, that's level 14. A lot of people don't get up to level 14. If you get up to 14, you fucking earned it. So yeah, all these, it's a great subclass, and I think people will like it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe and all that jazz, and thank you again, and have a good one. Bye bye.